Most buyers come to Montana Sapphire for two reasons: origin and color. Not just blue. Montana Sapphire can be teal, green, gray-blue, yellow-green, lavender, purple, yellow, orange, pink, or parti-color. That color range is what makes those stones interesting for engagement ring. It can help you design around the place, around the memory, a special eye color, or more natural-looking ring. But it also makes shopping more confusing. Two stones can both be called Montana Sapphire, and one can be bright, lively, and beautiful, while the other dark gray, poorly cut, or overpriced. So the real question is not, is Montana Sapphire is good? The real question is, which Montana Sapphire is actually good enough for engagement ring? So in this video, I want to explain how to choose one properly. Color, treatment, cuts, durability, price, Yogo Sapphire, and the real situation where Montana Sapphire makes sense for an engagement ring. What Montana Sapphires actually mean. When most buyers hear Montana Sapphire, they imagine one specific stone, but Montana Sapphire usually refer to the sapphires mined in Montana from areas like Rock Creek, Missouri River, and Dry Cottonwood Creek. Yogo Sapphire is also from the Montana, but Yogo is its own separate category. That distinction matters. Not every Montana Sapphire is Yogo, not every Montana Sapphire is unheated, and not every Montana Sapphire has the same value as well. This is where buyers get confused. Montana is the origin, it is not quality grade. It does not automatically tell you color is beautiful. It does not tell you the stone is well cut. It does not tell you the price is fair. You still have to judge the actual sapphire, the actual stone. First things I would judge is color. Color is the main reason to choose Montana Sapphire. Color is where Montana Sapphire becomes interesting. If you want classic blue, Montana can give you softer blue or gray blue, or as we call it, a denim blue. These are not always the deep royal blue people imagine with the traditional sapphire. They can feel lighter, quieter, and less formal. That can be a good thing. For someone who wants the blue engagement ring but does not want it to feel too traditional, a softer Montana blue can work beautifully. Then you have a teal and blue-green. This is probably the range most people now associate with the modern Montana Sapphire rings. A good teal sapphire can feel like a mountain water. It can look incredibly in the yellow gold. It also works very naturally with the hand engraving, leaves, branches, floral details, and organic custom designs in general. But I would be careful with the word teal. Teal can be beautiful. Teal can also be too dark, too gray, too green, or flat in the normal lighting. The color name does not choose the stone for you. Then there's a green and yellow-green Montana Sapphire. These can be earthy, unusual, and very personal. But this range can also become muddy if the color is weak. A green-yellow sapphire can be beautiful if it has life. If it turns too olive, gray, or dull, I would not force it just because it's a Montana. Parti-color Montana Sapphire are another reason buyers love this material. A parti sapphire can show more than one color in the same stone. Blue and green, blue and yellow, green and yellow. Sometimes the color changes depending on the angle itself. That can make the stone feels very personal. But with parti-color stones, I never want to judge from one perfect photos. I want videos, I want different lighting, I want to see how the colors moves in the stone itself. Because a parti sapphire can look magical, or it can look confused if the color zoning is poorly placed. Yogo Sapphire. Yogo Sapphire is the most famous name inside of the Montana Sapphire world. It's called Yogo because it came from Yogo Gulch in central Montana. And it's different from most Montana Sapphires buyers see on the market. Most Montana Sapphires come from gravel deposits where the crystal were carried and rounded by the water over time. Yogo is different. The sapphires were faceted back to their original hard rock source, an indigenous dike near near Yoga Gulch. That is one of the reasons Yoga gets separated from the broader Montana Sapphire conversation. The other reason is color. Yoga sapphires are known for blue to violet blue colors that often comes out of the ground already attractive. With many sapphires, heat treatment is used to improve the color. With Yoga, the gem quality stones are genuinely not treated because the color is already there, and the material usually does not respond much to the heat treatment anyway. That is the big part of appeal. A Yoga sapphire is usually not about wild teal, green, yellow, or parti-color personality. It's more about clean, even, natural blue Montana sapphire. That sounds perfect, but here's the trade-off. Yoga rough is often thin and flat. That means cutters usually cannot get the large finished stones from it. So if you want a small blue sapphire with the Montana history, Yoga can be very interesting. But if you want a large engagement ring center stone, especially 1.5, 2 or 3 carat, Yoga becomes very difficult very quickly. The size is limited, but supplies is limited too. And the price can rise fast because the story is strong and the large stones are rare. So we would not treat Yoga as the best Montana sapphire for every ring. It is more specific than that. Choose Yoga if you want a smaller, historic, natural blue Montana sapphire, and that origin story is part of the reason you want the ring itself. But if you want the large center stone, a teal color, a blue-green color, a parti-color stone, or more design flexibility, I would look at the other Montana sapphires first. Heat treatment, why the label is not enough. With the Montana sapphires, treatment matters, but it should not be the whole decision. A lot of Montana sapphires are heated because the rough often comes out light, greener, or less attractive than the finished stones people want in the engagement rings. Heat can improve the color and make the sapphire more marketable. That is normal for the sapphire world, but it's also mean the buyer has to separate two things: the beauty of the stone and the story being sold around it. Unheated Montana sapphire can be more desirable when the color is already strong. The stone is well cut and the price reflects the genuine rarity. But unheated alone is not enough. An unheated stone can still be gray, it can still be too dark, it can have windowing, it can still look flat once it's set in the ring. On the other side, a heated Montana sapphire can be a very strong choice if the color is beautiful, the treatment is disclosed, and the price is honest. So I would not start with heated versus unheated. I would start with the stone itself. Does it have a color you actually want? Does it stays attractive in the normal lighting? Does it have life when it moves? Is the cutting helps the color or fighting it? After that, treatment becomes part of the value conversation. For expensive Montana sapphire, especially ones sold as unheated Yoga or with a specific origin premium, I want respected lab report. If you're shopping for an engagement ring, check out our playlist in the description below. It walks you through the key parts of the process step by step so you can make better decisions with more confidence. I hope it helps and I would love working together. Durability. Good for daily wear, but design still matters. One of the strongest reasons to choose Montana sapphire and sapphires overall is durability. Sapphire is corundum. This is one of the best color stones in the engagement rings. Compare with the softer stones like morganites, opals, moonstones, tanzanite, or many other alternatives. Sapphire is much more practical for daily wear. But durability does not mean the ring can be careless. The stone is durable. That does not mean every setting is durable. If the sapphire has sharp corners, protect them. If it's elongated cushion, hexagon, cut shape, or unusual cut, think carefully about the prong placement. With a Montana sapphire, I would build the setting around the actual stone itself. If sapphire is bright and lively, you have more freedom. A basil or a partial basil can still work beautifully. But if your stone is on the darker side, I would avoid a heavy closed settings. Darker sapphires usually need an open gallery and air around the stone itself. Basically enough light to keep the stone alive. Sapphires loves volume and light. So the setting is not just a design choice, it has to support the specific stone you chose. Cut and Brilliance, where many pretty stones fail. Two Montana Sapphire can have the same color name, but one looks alive and the other will look flat. That usually comes down to the cut, tone, and how the color sits inside of the stone. A sapphire can have a beautiful listing description and still look sleepy because of windowing. A windowing is when you can see through the middle of the stone instead of seeing color and reflection. It can also look dead because of the extinction. That means areas of the stone go too dark or almost black. Too much gray can make the color feels weak. Too dark of a tone can make the stone lose life. Poor cutting can make the stone looks flat. Uneven colors placement can make the facet up view unbalanced. Some Montana sapphires also shows color zoning. That can be beautiful when cutter uses it well. For example, some heated rock creek stones can show bright color concentration towards the center. In the right stone, that gives personality. In the wrong stone, it can look uneven. This is why I do not want to buy Montana Sapphire from one perfect photo. I want video, I want different lighting, I want to see stone moving. A good Montana Sapphire should not only have a pretty name, it should look alive on the hand. Size and price, where expectations need to be realistic. Montana Sapphire prices can vary a lot. A small heated stone with a softer color is not the same category as the fine and heated stone with an excellent color. A regular Montana Sapphire is not the same thing as Yoga. A poorly cut teal should not be priced like a beautiful cut teal stone just because both listed use the same color word. Price depends on color, size, cut, clarity, treatment, origin documentation, and rarity. For most engagement ring, the realistic sweet spot often around 1 to 2 carat. Above 2 carat, the search becomes more sensitive. Above 3 carat, you should expect more compromises and much higher prices, or both at the same time. That does not mean larger sapphires do not exist. They do. But if you want a larger size, strong color, good cut, clear appearance, and fair price all at the same time, the search becomes harder. This is where I would be practical. I would not overpay for the word Montana if the stone itself is dark, gray, poorly cut, or lifeless. I would not reject a heated stone if it looks better, the treatment is disclosed, and the price makes sense. When Montana sapphires makes real sense. Montana sapphires makes the most sense when the color and origin both supports the ring story. We had a ring where the couple met in Yellowstone. That details matter a lot, so we were not looking for a random pretty sapphire. We wanted the stone connected to the Yellowstone and Montana at the same time. The color direction came from the Grand Prismatic Springs, famous in Yellowstones. Blue-green, yellow-orange, and earthy mine tones. That is exactly where Montana sapphires became useful. A standard blue sapphire would not carry the same idea here. But a Montana sapphire with the blue, green, and yellow section could connect to the color of the spring and the Montana origin. That is not generic symbolism. This is the real design reasons. We had another rings where the idea came from the eye color. Again, not just the blue color. The goal was blue with the yellow section. That is very specific. And Montana sapphire can work for that because the stone sits right between blue, green, gray, and yellow. Some have zones, some has shift in a different lighting. For custom work, that irregular color can be the whole reason the stone belong in the ring. Some clients also want Montana sapphire because it's American mined. That does not automatically make the stone better, but it can make the origin feel personal and intentional. But the stone still has to be good. If it looks too dark, too gray, too poorly cut, or dead in the normal lighting, the story is not enough. The best Montana sapphire rings is where the color, origin story, and the actual beauty of the stone all work together. Quick decision guide. Choose teal or blue-green Montana sapphire if you want a classic modern Montana look and natural inspired engagement ring. Choose lighter blue if you want something soft, clean, and more traditional. Choose parti-color if you like personality and do not need the stone to look identical from every angle. Choose Yoga if you want smaller, fine blue Montana sapphire and the origin story matter enough to pay for it. Choose unheated heated if the color is beautiful and the premium makes sense. Choose heated if the stone looks better, the treatment is disclosed, and the price is fair. I would focus first on color, cut, and how the stone looks in real life. Then I would care about the treatment and the origin, not the other way around. Montana Sapphire can make an incredible engagement ring because it's durable, personal, and visually interested. But you have to choose it stone by stone. The best Montana Sapphire is not the one with the most romantic description. It is the one that still looks beautiful when marketing words removed. I hope this video clarified things for you. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any other questions, leave them in the comments or email me directly. I'll see you in the next video.